Welcome back to Silent Mode Cafe. After our last podcast on the whole Maduro Venezuelan situation, we're back to regularly scheduled programming today, though we do have a special surprise at the end.
At the very
It's the
end.
chill place to talk privacy and security without the doom, and with me is my co-host and partner in crime.
What crime people might wonder there, Vivek. Hey guys, it's Salah. We're talking this week about a few really fun stuff. Android TV box might be doing side gigs for hackers. Windows updates as usual, but this one is pretty interesting, saving us, and as usual, Microsoft has to stay consistent with also annoying us. We're going to chat about an AI assistant. That was the AI assistant tricked, or was it used to trick? I guess we'll get into that. And then Roblox is back in the news, but this time hopefully with something positive. There's age verification, but it's apparently creating some friction for people, Vivek, that they have to verify ages. Interesting. All right, so look, there are a lot of things this week. The long list is like Google is ending, for those of you who are using its dark web reports, starting January 15th, which was just a couple of days ago, you will no longer be able to use it. So you're going to have to find a replacement. Beach Forum got breached. Yes, Vivek. Breach forums, the hacker forum itself got breached. Data leaks everywhere. Target, interestingly enough, took a dev server offline after some source code theft claims by some hackers. Reporting says authenticity was confirmed internally, so they were able to confirm it with Target. And then this is why, folks, you always have to replace your old gear. An old D-Link DSL router is now being exploited. You need to retire these old equipment, folks. If you're still using an old D-Link DSL, you're probably running on an incredibly slow and expensive network. Just upgrade it. And then WordPress, many of us use WordPress plugin. Many people have used it for personal reasons to build websites or whatever it may be. Being exploited for admin access. So this one is an easy fix. Update your plugin, update it fast, update it like, your rent depends on it here, Vivek.
Yeah, and don't ignore the ignore it headline. Microsoft fixed 100 plus bugs and says at least one of them was already actively exploited.
Oh my goodness.
So they have another patch. Is it Tuesday? Yes, Tuesday. Just like Taco
At some
Tuesday.
point in life, we should do a Microsoft versus Apple. I got into a debate with a colleague of mine back in the day. Well, I was obviously taking the position, a fun position, which is not true, by the way, folks, is that Mac OS is not exploitable, because he was a gun-ho Microsoft fan. I'm a fan of both, just to be clear, but one is a lot easier to exploit than the other. You piece that one together.
So let's get on to the top 4 stories, which will also include Microsoft. So the first story is Kim Wolf Botnet, which is targeting Android TV boxes and IoT devices. We've talked about this before on how your Android TV boxes can get exploited. So let's translate this. A botnet is basically a bunch of gadgets that got volunteered without permission into a hacker group project.
Okay, so Kim Wolf appears to love those no-name Android TV streaming boxes, don't they? Some reporting says it can spread widely and even look for other devices on your network. Oh my God, there's so many places to take that one.
Yeah, so why does it matter in real life? So what happens if a hacker group takes your Android TV box?
Who cares?
And commandeers
the FBI
it?
just shows up at my house saying, why are you attacking, the Department of War?
Okay, that could be one. But usually what happens is your internet can get used for sketchy traffic, which can slow down your network at home and also put you on the IP address naughty list. So you have to be careful because once you get on the naughty list, it starts impacting everything from email delivery to everything else in your life. And trying to get out of the naughty list is a pain.
Mhm.
And it's also a reminder that cheap, smart stuff sometimes ships with sloppy security, though that's debatable, but it is usually said that way. And I'll leave it at that.
Vivek, how many times has your IP address reputation been trashed?
Twice.
All right. We'll leave that one for another podcast. So, if you have a generic Android TV box, first thing to do is just update it. Okay. If any updates exist, some of these things tend to be black market, which folks, you're really opening yourself up because you don't use aftermarket boxes like that. Put create a guest Wi-Fi network at home and put all these devices on your guest Wi-Fi, because what you don't want to do is this Android TV box to take over your kid's iPad, your TV, your other IoT devices such as your Wi-Fi camera, your Ring doorbell, etc., and then they also become hacking devices or botnet devices, right? So if a device has a wired setting like a remote debugging feature, just turn them off. I know not many of us dig into that, but if you like to log into the device and look at the settings and turn off any features you might think you don't need, it's probably a good idea
Yes. And please update the firmware as always.
because your living room device is probably listening. Okay, next topic. So Microsoft Patch Tuesday, the patch fallout, Vivek. Microsoft patched a lot apparently from what you updated us on, and they were warned that one of those bugs was already being used by attackers.
Yeah. So then some people got hit with patch side effects, and Microsoft had to ship an extra update. So patch
Goodness.
for a patch.
So a patch for a patch. So updates are still your best defense, folks. It's normal to be cautious. Save your work. Make that a habit. Reboot your device constantly, especially Windows devices. If you're done, don't walk away from it for the day and so it's ready for you in the morning. Just reboot it. And don't do it 2 minutes before a big Zoom interview. Speaking out of experience here, do
Yeah.
it well in advance of something important happening because sometimes these updates happen during reboot.
Yeah. And usually Zoom updates themselves take more than 2 minutes, as we've always experienced right before a meeting, which just happens. So set updates for a time when you're not rushed. Figure out a
Yeah.
time. You know your day better than anyone else. And if you're on Windows 11 Enterprise IoT editions in particular, keep an eye on a post update behavior. So the patch for the patch.
Patch for that's the new way forward apparently, but
Well, they always used to have patch on a patch because they never tested the patch fully for all the edge cases. Therefore, they had to have a patch for the patch.
date drama.
Yes. Also called as job security, which takes
Yeah.
us to story 3. Reprompt and AI assistant session hijacks.
Hmm.
The reprompt story is basically researchers found a way an attacker might steer an AI assistant session so it spills things it shouldn't, also
Oh.
known in high school cafeterias as trying to get information from a person during lunchtime.
So look, I know this is the reprompt. It doesn't matter what AI assistant this is, like whether it's Copilot or any assistant that you've looked at in Chat GPT, Gemini, whatever it is, the life lesson is the same. Don't treat chatbots like a vault, right? Don't paste secrets, don't paste passwords, recovery codes, full IDs of anything, private information, company information. Look, if you have to use AI for work docs, share only what you'd be okay with publishing externally to the whole world. If you're not okay with publishing whatever information you're typing into your chatbot, just don't do it.
Although it's very enticing the way a chatbot talks to you. So In some cases, they become a virtual therapist. A lot of people are using them for
Oh,
that.
goodness. Didn't we talk about that already? Please don't
We
do
did.
that, folks.
We
Please
did.
don't do
Yeah.
that. Please don't do that. I mean, this is public information. Any even police officer can get your chat logs with a simple request. Please don't share any personal information with your chatbot. Please don't ask it how to build certain toys. Right? Don't ask it how to do things that you would not be willing to publish with your name externally, because by chatting with the chatbot, you're really publishing this information externally. So, Roblox, Vivek.
Yes.
Roblox is now, as we all know, folks, it's a big gaming platform for kids. They got in trouble because adults were using it, pretending like they were kids. Big pedophile ring bust as a result. Roblox finally implemented age verification. The age verification accounts are already being sold, by the way. So if someone created an account, verified it as a child, and went and sold the account. Why is this a big deal?
So it's a big deal because age verification often means collecting more sensitive data, and families want it to be accurate and fair. I think that's the reason Roblox AI age verification is causing a confusion. So use platform parental controls,
Hmm.
but also assume age gates aren't perfect right now. They're still being developed. Like, it's a really sensitive thing, especially with legal involved, and every country has a regulation, and every country follows different regulations.
Some people buy these accounts.
Yeah, so please talk to your children and tell them not to buy those accounts.
Yeah.
And it's risky because, of scams, stolen accounts, bans, mostly scams and bans. But yeah, please be careful. So that's our recommendation.
And parents, spread the word on this.
Yeah.
If you have friends, if you have nieces, nephews, let everyone know. Spread the word on this one. So have you heard of Kimmy Wolf, Vivek?
Yeah, it's essentially home network hygiene. So if you do one thing this week, please separate your important stuff from your smart stuff.
Okay.
So do you
So
want to
phone
mean that?
plus
Yeah.
laptop on your main Wi-Fi, TV, streaming boxes, cameras on the guest Wi-Fi. That way, if one gadget gets compromised, it's not automatically in the same room as your bank logins, which are supposed to be encrypted. But there's this thing that's called a man in the middle, and you've got your device and you've got the internet. And now you've got these compromised devices in the middle that can put themselves between that traffic, and they can do this thing called SSL decryption. So they can capture your stream, decrypt it, look at it, encrypt it, and send it back to your account. But in the meantime, they're siphoning all this. So a good fix is change the router password, right? Whenever you receive if you've deployed it yourself, right? There's always an admin password. If you go to any of your routers that your company, your Comcasts, your Verizons, your AT&Ts of the world, they give you a box. There's a printed admin password on it. Just change it. I'm okay if you even write what that password is and put a sticker on your box, but change it. Turn on automatic updates. Most of your company-based routers will do that automatically, but just change the passwords, update the settings, make sure it's an automatic update. Because typically what happens when there's new firmware and it reboots, it kicks out all the stuff
Right.
that has taken over. If a device has been end of life by the manufacturer, they've just said, hey, we're not supporting this anymore. Pretend like it's a rotten egg in your fridge. Get rid of your rotten eggs. Look, the cost of these things, it might seem, I'm not ready for a $300 router upgrade or a $50 camera upgrade. Imagine that logic when your bank account is taken over. It just doesn't add up. So if you don't want to upgrade it, stop using it until you have money to replace it, or just quickly replace it.
So we have a new section today about weird but real research corners.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting section that's come
This is
up.
a really fun section, Vivek.
This is a really fun session.
Because
So
this gets into the world of, I didn't know this could happen. So tell
yeah,
us,
it's happening.
what is this research that we should call it?
Research for
I
so
didn't know this
we'll
could
talk about
happen.
we have 4 topics.
Okay.
One is laser-based eavesdropping is real research.
Laser
So
based eavesdropping.
so what they're
Now,
doing
for
is
some people who listen to the Maduro conversation, we hit that one hard. But
yeah.
I think we're talking about it from a satellite. And, Salah still can't afford to send a satellite, not even with Elon Musk's pricing. But that's not what this is, right?
No, this is essentially pointing lasers at windows, which can pick up tiny vibrations and correlate that with sound.
Mm.
So, classic eavesdropping, classic James Bond. Well, James Bond is old. What is the
Yeah,
new?
James Bond. If this is, I don't think James Bond even did cool stuff like
Didn't
this,
have
man.
lasers? Okay. So this is, I don't know. I don't know what's the new du jour, whatever, right? But yeah, but this has been there for a while. I think it
It
started with the
has.
Russians who experimented it, the Americans caught on,
That's right.
and then, I guess
Yeah,
now
there's
they're
a lot
finally
of,
acknowledging it exists, right? So,
it's an old story.
old story, yes.
Russians decided they were so happy to work with the US. They said, "Hey, we will offer our services and build the embassy for you." And they implemented these vibration tools. Obviously, this is not laser, but these vibration devices, just vibration, folks. No batteries, no electricity, vibration devices all over, in the walls, in art, in vases all around the embassy. And they were able to spy on the US embassy by pointing sound vibration devices at the embassy. Really cool story. You should Google that. What else do you got for us on this research corner?
Second one is your gaming mouse could be a microphone. Research,
What? My mouse?
yeah,
You mean,
research
you
suggests
mean,
high performance
where
optical
is
mouses,
this guy
mouse
with the
sensors
laser in it?
can detect vibrations and reconstruct speech under some conditions.
Okay, so
So this is gaming mouses
the
potentially. This is
gaming
a proof of
mice,
concept,
oh,
but yeah,
baloney, man. Gaming mice with laser. So the laser obviously is so delicate it vibrates. Um,
you
and
can start listening to.
if someone can, are you telling me, so someone would have to take over my PC and somehow hack my mouse and then start listening? So they'll bypass my microphone and go directly to my mouse, and, or maybe because software will detect things listening to your mic, but they won't detect things listening to your mouse vibrations.
First of all, the fun part is it's called Mickey Mouse. That's
Okay.
what the
All right.
project
All
is
right. All
called,
right. Fine.
which is
Enough said.
Mickey Mouse.
Eh,
The second is every mouse, Mikey Mouse, right? Second is every mouse needs a driver. And if you put a mouse connected to whatever laptop, Apple, etc., obviously the driver can start listening to your
Probably a
conversations.
Windows.
Be a patch for that. The third one is ultrasonic beacons and cross-device tracking.
Ultrasonic
Have
beacons.
listened to inaudible tones to link devices and track behavior.
Wait, are you telling me apps that can access my speaker on my phone can send out ultrasonic sounds and use that to sound?
Apps can, and also the way you type on your
Lord.
computer and the cadence. Every person uniquely on the planet,
Yes.
when they
Yes.
type, they have their own unique signature based upon,
That's right.
you know, the way they type, the tandem, how hard they press the keys. That's
Yes.
all been tracked for a while now. But
That's
so
old news, right? So a
it's
lot
old
of
news. So
websites
it's a
know who you
combination of
are
that
based on the fingerprint that is associated with you.
with your
Funny
behavior
enough,
and how you type.
how fast you type, the cadence between the
Right.
letter A and B or C and A, and they know
Yep.
it's you because, just like when you walk, you have a specific gait. When you type, you have a specific gait, and they know who you are.
Yep.
Cadence.
So
Interesting.
similar to that. And last but not the
Okay.
least, in the topic of smart TVs, are watching what you watch, surprisingly. But regulators have acted upon this before, but lawsuits around smart TV tracking keeps on popping up. So what should we do, Salah?
Um, I think we should all go back and watch 1984 when the TV starts to yell at you to say you haven't done your morning workout routine yet.
I'd be the first one it'd be screaming
Oh
at in
my
the
God.
morning.
So guys, look, this is just fun research. The vibe here isn't panic. It's be intentional, right? So just be mindful of devices that have mics can possibly listen. Review privacy settings on your TV and assistants and devices and whatnot. So if Amazon said, hey, we're no longer supporting this old Alexa format hardware, get rid of it is really the conversation today, right? Get rid of old devices. Hey, Vivek, let's do Q&A and then maybe we've got something fun to show people.
Yeah,
Let's
absolutely.
do
So we got some questions from our
yeah,
audience,
I
which
got
is
I got two
continues to
for you.
increase.
Two
Yep,
for you. Or what
yep.
how about I take one, you take one?
Sure.
Okay. All right.
I'll take
I'm
the
going to
first
throw
one. You
this
take
one
the.
at you. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. Vivek, I don't know who this is. Anyway, do I need to throw away a smart TV? My smart TV. Oh, goodness.
So the answer is it depends on the smart TV that you have. Joke.
If it's not
If it's less than
OLED
an
or
OLED, yeah,
QLED,
please. If it's not OLED, please throw it away. No, jokes apart, please don't throw away your smart TV. I don't want to get hate mail saying you told me to throw away my smart TV. Please don't.
yeah,
Start with settings. Turn off ad personalization. All smart TVs. The reason they're called smart and not dumb is they have obviously software installed on them, which can stream apps, etc., but they can also track you. So please turn off ad personalization, style tracking if available. Please mute voice features you don't use and keep firmware updated. Usually that's done automatically, but depends again on the TV and the provider. And so similar to what you do with devices such as Alexa, etc., turn off mute voice features, turn off tracking. And past enforcement shows why these toggles matter. So privacy is in your hands when it comes to smart TV.
interesting.
So please continue because it's essentially software and follow similar practices that you would do on your phone.
Okay,
So I have a
fair enough.
question for you from one of our viewers.
Okay.
Should I stop updating Windows because updates sometimes break things, which we
Oh,
talked about
man.
patch for a patch?
Sorry, the question is, should I stop
Stop
updating my
updating
Mac
Windows
OS,
by Windows, not Mac
not
OS.
Mac OS? Oh,
Doesn't
interesting.
say Mac, it says Windows.
Look, as obnoxious as updates are, and sometimes they do break things, you can't stop updating, unfortunately. Look, still update. Do it at a calm time because sometimes they do take a long time to update and then reboot and then update and then reboot, especially if it's during a heavy patch cycle like it is this time around. I have to update my Windows devices, and they did take quite some time. But unpatched systems are targets. You're just an open targets, and they're very open to exploits. And most of the time, the exploits are active. So yes, please update.
Cool. And now for a special surprise before we end the show today,
Yeah, Vivek.
you've been working on this really cool product. I'd
Just a
love
fun
to
little
show.
project, man.
Fun little project.
You
Why
know,
don't you
it's
tell us about it
y-
and give us a quick demo if you can?
let's do it. So it started when a friend of mine said, "Hey, I don't know if my kid is on TikTok. Can you check?" I was like, well, that's actually an easy thing to check. What's your kid's user ID and what's your kid's email address? User ID is sometimes hard to know, but you can have your email address, right? And then I thought, well, there are many tools for this, Vivek, but what if we just made these tools easy to use? So if I created a thing called Account Finder and I said, what if I just put an username on here. And I'm just gonna use John at John, Comcast.com. I don't know who John at Comcast is, but I bet you there's a John at Comcast. And what you do is you just scan the results. And what it's going to do, folks, is it's going to look for any profile on the web that has accounts associated with John at Comcast. So it looks like John has GitHub, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, LinkedIn, Facebook, Dribble, YouTube, Twitch, Medium, SoundCloud, TikTok, has a lot of accounts, right? And folks, ignore this right now. There will not be a premium for this. We are going to make this free for you to use. And you can just go in here, and you can put in your user ID or your email, and see what apps are associated with that email address or that user scan. So I actually had family play with this, Vivek. And one question came up is like, Salah, hey, it looks like my email is associated with an account I didn't know I had. So if you have an email address that's common, like a John at Comcast or a John at Gmail, there might be someone out there, maybe not technically inclined. They didn't know they didn't do it maliciously.
What they were doing, yeah.
And they put in, oh yeah, my name is John. My email is John at Google. And they may have mistakenly used your email address. I always go with this wasn't meant to be malicious approach first. So in any case, you could log in with your email address, reset the password, delete that account, and then therefore it's no longer a problem for you. So that's our tech update. It's kind of a cool, fun app.
It's a lot of fun. I think this looks amazing.
Yeah,
So,
man. Look,
yeah.
it is secure, by the way it was built. Everything is hashed. No data is being stored. This is just a free scan. It scans over 500 social platforms and websites, using our advanced profile detection and AI analysis, and he'll come back and give you that information. So I
Amazing.
hope you you find this interesting. If you want to test this tool before it's deployed for everyone, just ping us on social media.
Please do.
And I'll direct mail you access to this app, and you can play with it.
And that's our update for the week.
That's the update for the week. Thank you, Vivek. That was a fun update.
Yeah.
Not as exciting as last week's update, Vivek. Cybersecurity used to nab presidents of other countries is a whole different world.
Yeah. So whole brave
folks.
world.
Thanks very much for your insights, Vivek. Thank you all.
Thanks.
See you next time.
See you.